In the last session, right, we started off with this very basic concept of option, right? What is an option? So somebody who buys an option, call option, right? Now here we have to be very clear in FX world. Call means USD call in this case of INR because you're buying dollars. That's why it's called call option. So here buyer of an option basically buys USD. He or she has a right. Similarly, therefore by definition, seller of an option of a call, right, will do what? Sell USD by definition, right? And but it's an obligation because buying an option is a right, so selling an option is an obligation. This is important to keep in mind because when we look at option structures, this kind of framework is something which will help us. Similarly, buyer of a put, again, when I say put, it is USD put, INR call, right? Buyer of a put sells dollars, and because it's an option buyer, the buyer has a right. Similarly, seller of a put ends up buying dollars, but it's an obligation to buy it, right? So this is the framework that we need to keep in mind so that any option structure and combination of options, we can decipher the payoff, right? So we did discuss this last time. Now, given this, then we wanted to see how options can be used for importers, right? Of course, we saw some basic differences between options and forwards. Options have an expiry date and a settlement date because you have to exercise the option. So 2 days before the settlement date or the actual delivery of dollars happening, 2 days before that at 11:30 a.m. India time or 3 p.m. Tokyo time, dollar rupee options expire. At that time, the buyer has to choose whether to exercise this option or not. And if the exercise happens, then the appropriate buy or sell will happen. This is basically the difference between a forward and an option. Forward has only one date. Now, options, when will they be useful when it comes to import hedging? But just to summarize, right? See, in India, especially for dollar rupee, I'm talking about, the forward premium, as you all know, is a cost because the forward is at a premium to the spot. The forward rate is higher. So an importer looking to hedge dollars for future payment will have to pay that cost as a forward cost. So that's one aspect that is a problem for import hedging. And second, another problem with the forward is that a forward locks in a rate, right? You are locked into a particular rate. So to overcome that, problem for importers is twofold, right? One problem is the forward premium as a cost. And second, locked in rate, meaning no benefit of a rupee appreciation. So these two are the problems for import hedging. Now, as an importer, if I want to use options or option structures, right, or options, whatever it is, you are sort of looking for benefit now by using options. That's what you're trying to do. Now, what is the benefit you're trying to do, right? Because this is a cost, right? One primary variable or rather objective that you are looking to achieve in import hedging with options is that your overall rate should be lower than the forward rate, right? As much as possible. That's the primary agenda. And secondary agenda would be sometimes when rupee appreciation is more likely and you are like forced to hedge or you want to benefit from rupee appreciation to some extent, then you want to do a structure which captures that also as much as possible, right? But primarily, this tends to be the primary focus generally. Okay, so this is basically the principle behind hedging, rather using options for import hedging.